There was one other piece of news that came across the wire services in this week 50 years ago, and it was a sad note. We all knew it was coming. We didn't want it to ever arrive. And it was when the Pittsburgh Penguins announced the passing of their former player, Michael Briere. He became, in his brief tenure in the NHL, I saw a few Pittsburgh games when I could. He became a favorite of mine, just in his attitude and the way he played, and how unexpected it was for him to achieve almost instant stardom. Roy McHugh, the sports editor of the Pittsburgh Press, penned this tribute to Michel, and we'd like to leave it with you right now. It can't be acquired. They either have it or they don't. The quality that sets apart the exciting performer. By one definition, it's chemistry. Exactly the right mixture of talent, style, and competitive spirit. Quoting the same authority, some players make it strictly because of their competence. And then there's the player who is both competent and competitive, but he has a little something extra. He has style. He does what he does with a special flair, a special éclat. He is the type of guy who draws standing room only crowds because they know he will make things hum. Michel Briere was such an athlete. Red Kelly first saw Briere at the Penguins training camp in September of 1969. He was showing me moves you can't put into a hockey player, said the coach. Briere skated easily. He skimmed across the ice like a water bug, not with great speed, but with a phantom elusiveness, deftly avoiding body checks, probing and questing for the puck. His shot was quick rather than powerful, coming invariably when the goalkeeper least expected it. Preceded, as likely as not, by a feint, by a dip of the shoulder. Red Kelly said when he picked up that puck, you knew things could happen. You felt he could take it all the way down, that the puck would end up in the other guy's net. The feeling was a reaction to the chemistry of Briere, to the premise he communicated, for in his only year with the Penguins he scored just 12 goals. Yet the spectators sensed his possibilities. They believed he would make things hum. Part of his appeal was the way he looked. Slight and dark, with the flared nostrils on the ice, Briere called to mind a fugitive fleeing from hunters. While he lay unconscious in a Montreal hospital last summer, his teammate Jean Pronovost said he looked like a kid, he looked like a little boy, and he was out there doing great things. At the start of his rookie season, Red Kelly tried to protect Briere, keep him out of matchups with stronger, more experienced centers. On faceoffs, it seemed that Montreal's Jean Beliveau beat him to the draw every single time. That was at the start of the season. By the end of the year, Briere was beating Beliveau, getting his stick on the puck before it hit the ice. The heavies in the league, as they are wont to do, took him for a pipsqueak, and they were impatient to lean on Briere. They would chase him right out of the rink if they could, they told themselves with a smirk. But when the moment came to lean, they'd be leaning quite often against nothing. Briere would have somehow slithered away once again. In Philadelphia one night, two Flyers took a run at Michel. They collided head-on, and they knocked each other out. Scotty Bowman, the coach of the St. Louis Blues, made it a point last year during the Stanley Cup playoffs to harass Briere with Noel Picard and Bob Plager, two of his burliest, meanest hombres. From Kelly, no countermeasures proceeded. There he is, there's my little baby, Kelly said. A common sight during the playoff series was Kelly's little baby skating toward the goal while the St. Louis bad boys sprawled on the ice in his wake. If they looked at the puck, he'd be gone, said Kelly. He was slippery. He could shift and make movements, but all the time he was doing this, he was still skating, keeping his feet moving. A lot of guys, when they shift, they're not going anywhere. Mike kept on skating, kept his feet moving at the same rate of speed. That would be a trait seen in many superstars over the years, right up to the present day in 2021. Now, Roy McHugh writes, Michel is dead at 21. On trips to Montreal last season, Kelly would visit Briere. It made you feel kind of bad, Red said. You'd walk in, you'd sit down, you'd take hold of his hand. He'd turn his head toward you and his eyes would open, but just staring. He couldn't talk. I was always optimistic, but the last time I saw him, and Red's voice trailed away after saying that. Michel Briere had been only clinically alive since the night 11 months ago when his burnt orange sports car missed a curve on a road in Upper Quebec. That life departed this week. A particular magic blend of talent, style, and competitive spirit is gone forever.